City Studios construction project status as of, I guess, the third week in January. We'll just come in through the entrance door here. And here's where our reception is going to be. There's a little window here. We're going to have a counter set up. Obviously, you can tell in general they're still under construction with a lot of things. So this is where you'll be able to pay at the location if you haven't prepaid online at royalcitystudios.ca. And I'll just walk you through a little bit. So you come in here after you've talked to the handy dandy concierge at the front and gotten everything set up and ready to go. Over here, this is where the lounge is going to be. So we're going to have a nice hangout spot up here where you can see across Woodlawn Road here at some of the car dealerships. A wonderful view, but at least there's some nice greenery to look at. And there's going to be couches and some side tables and stuff for you to hang out on. In here, we're going to actually have a kitchenette with coffee tea service and snacks and drinks and a breakfast bar where you can hang out and you can wait for your friends to show up and be ready for them when they get here. And there's also going to be some charging ports and what have you while you're waiting in case you need to get your phone topped up before the rehearsal. So those power outlets there for some vending machines, so you'll have some stuff available. We're also going to try and have some replaceable things like, I guess, drumsticks and guitar picks and guitar strings and reeds for horns and oil, valve oil and stuff like that. So that's going to be pretty cool for us, so you don't have to stop and go somewhere to get stuff that you might have forgotten or what have you. So this is the first studio. This is a small studio over here. And as you can see, it's got the rails up so we can put the anti-vibration hangers on and put the drywall on behind that. You can also see that there's two walls. There's going to be the inside wall and the outside wall, and there's a gap between them. And that goes all the way down to the floor. All right, that's going to be concrete down there between those two. And underneath each of these studios are some anti-vibration pucks and some sound insulation as well. You might be able to see a little bit of it just as we get down close here. But basically what that'll do is it'll prevent any audio vibration and any audio through the air to get out of the room. So it's basically a room within a room. We're going to do the same thing up top. We're going to hang the ceilings, and there's going to be two levels of ceiling so that you get that extra suppression of noise between studios. So that was the small size studio. This one's a little bit wider, as you can see, and it's about the same height, of course, and about the same, well, a little bit longer as well. And so that's going to be a medium-sized room. And that's going to allow us to house probably up to about 6 people in this room. Every studio is going to have drums in it, a PA system with mics and what have you, guitar amp, bass amp, potentially keyboard amp. Over here, this is our large size room. So you can see, if I sort of step back here, that it is pretty darn huge. And this one is going to be great for even up to about 10 people if you really want to get that many people in a room. If you got a horn section or something like that, you'll all fit. Or if you just need lots of room to move around. So right beside this studio, we have our recording area. So this is the mixing booth here. And there's going to be some couches and stuff in here for you guys to hang out. There's going to be the control workstation right here. The big window is going to be in there pretty soon. And that behind there is the actual recording studio. So it's pretty much the same size as the large studio was. And there'll be even better equipment and noise suppression in here because we want to make sure it's super duper. And then over here on the side of the mixing booth, we have an isolation booth. It's going to have sliding doors so you can see through. And the person that's in there, if they're looking from the right side, will be able to see, all the way into the recording studio from when they're practicing in this isolation booth here. So that'll be pretty cool. Just have to make sure people are in the right place so they can see each other if they need to. Moving along, so here's the entrance, of course, to that recording area. And on the left is another medium-sized studio. And so all the medium size are pretty much the same size. We had to get a little creative because if you can just see up there, there's a supporting post in between this studio and the last medium-sized studio that I showed you. And that put a little bit of a gap in, between the studios that's a little larger than normal. And so we just had to take that into account. There's one more small studio over here. And so this one's sort of at the back. And there's a little bit of bright sunshine coming in from the front over there. Got a bit of a storage room over here. Universal washroom's going to be here. All the piping's in already. We're just getting some electrical stuff done. And so a couple other washrooms over here. And then the final pre-existing washroom used to be handicap, but that was 20 years ago, so we had to build the universal washroom. That's going to just be a regular one. So then as we come into the back here is what I'm going to be calling the music hall. So this place is 20 feet by 60 feet, and there's lots of stuff in here, of course, just to help with the construction, but this is going to be a beautiful place for all sorts of things. We're thinking maybe summer camps, some live performances, like maybe a CD release party. You could even have business events in here. We could have choirs, we could have orchestras, big bands, whatever. And we're going to put some nice sound suppressing panels up on the top, hopefully attractive to keep everyone happy, and the noise in control. So on the doors of all these studios and areas, we're going to have really high protection doors. It's going to suppress any gaps that you might have. Here's the last room that's not quite got the last wall on it. We're waiting for some foam to go underneath that wall. So yeah, we're going to be trying to put those kind of doors, the kind you get in movie theaters. And here's the last studio here. Doesn't have the panels up on it yet, but we'll get there. So those movie theater doors are basically noise proof. You go into the movie theater, you close the door, the movie's still going on, but you don't hear it anymore when you close that door. Those are the doors we're putting in here. It's going to be really super cool. So you're playing inside and it's all loud, and you close the door out here, you can't hear a thing. That's the plan. So double walls. It's going to be totally insulated, venting into and out of the rooms, and of course the stuff underneath the floor, and the space between the walls. So it's all going to be really well done to make sure that your experience in the studio will be uninterrupted by anyone else, and you won't be interrupting anyone either. So, looking forward to seeing you guys here. Go to our website, check it out. Book a studio if you want to. We're supposed to be opening at the beginning of April, barring any major concerns or issues that pop up. And so hope to see you then. www.royalcitystudios.ca. Thanks very much.